very important moment, very important point in time. You can feel the transformation beginning to take place, and I'm very happy for the transformation that's taking place. I feel happy because I feel that I'm leaving Bed-Stuy in very capable hands. We have a young man that's invested to our community. He's a family man. He's a man of God. He's a community person. He understands what we go through from day to day. And so as I move from the scene, happily, with no regrets, when you're committed to your people, when you're committed to your community, and you do everything you can to make things right, when you ease off in good stead. That's right. In good stead. So I'm happy to be here for this moment. I want to wish his wife happy birthday. I want to wish him happy birthday. And I want to wish everybody happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you very much. Congratulations,
Thank you, council member. Borough president.
Citywide, gotta do citywide.
Oh, that's the correct protocol. I'm learning. So the correct protocol is for citywide.
That's right.
Okay. My new public advocate, the first African American woman to hold citywide office, is befitting, with all due respect, Councilwoman, that it be from the borough of Brooklyn. Letitia Tish James.
In addition to Michelle and Rob, my birthday's in a week and a half as well. Yeah. So Libras rock, yes, we're taking over. Listen, I really want to thank Central Brooklyn for coming out and voting the special. When you look at the map and you look at the number of people who came out from Bed-Stuy, from Clinton Hill, from Fort Greene, from East New York to Brownsville, we won Brooklyn 80%, and that really was the margin of difference. And so I just want to thank all of you. We made history in the city of New York. We could not have done it. The victory is all of yours. And I salute my council member, Rob Cornegy. Even though Lori Cumbo is not here, she's going to replace me. Lori Cumbo and Rob Cornegy together. Yes, I love you as well. Lori and Robert are going to make a dynamic duo. They're going to make a big difference in the borough of Brooklyn. We've left them in really good hands. And Al Van, this all comes from Al Van, the man with the plan. We are all children of Al Van. So if anyone we should salute tonight, it's the man with the plan, Al Van. Give it up for Al Van. Thank you all.
So when we have guests in the building, guests to the borough, we know how to be hospitable. And right now, one of my favorite council members is in the building from the great village of Harlem, Inez Dickens, and I'd just like for her to bring greetings from the village of Harlem.
Well, I do bring greetings, and I do first pay homage to Council Member Al Van, who has fought first on a state level, then on the city level, but first giving honor to God and his community. And although in 2013, my friend and colleague in the city council, Tish, made history this year for all of us and on behalf of all of us. And because coming to the council will be Rob Cornegy, who I've had the privilege to work with for the last few years. Harlem still rocks. I'm in Brooklyn, but Harlem is in the house. I acknowledge my newly elected Brooklyn Borough President, Eric Adams. But the reason I stand here and say in Brooklyn, where you might beat me up as I exit the building, that Harlem still rocks, because you have now, with God's graces, elected a black borough president. Harlem, we did it in 1954. I couldn't resist. But happy birthday. Well, I went to the city council as the first and only still black woman in leadership in the history of the New York City Council. First one. Never before in the history have they ever had a black woman in leadership. And that gave me the responsibility to not only look out for Harlem, but to look out for all the Harlems of the city. But I wanted to say happy birthday to the Cornegays. You now have gained a reputation because you're now the spouse, the supporter, the one who's in command of an elected. Because the women did it. But you're now sharing him also. You're now sharing him with the city of New York. And that's a very demanding mistress. So thank you for being willing to step up and say it's okay, that I will share him as long as he comes home every day.
Now, a lot of you I told before we started tonight to wear your dancing shoes because we were going to party. So this is the formal part, but the lights are going to get turned down, and my man DJ Barry Blends, who was a close personal friend, has guaranteed me that we sweating our weaves. That some feet going to be hurting in church tomorrow. So I'm checking the choir stands tomorrow of all the borough churches to see what happens after tonight. But without further ado, I want to bring another history maker for the borough of Brooklyn, the first African American to hold the office of borough president in this great borough, Eric Adams.
Listen, first of all, I just, really, my heart goes out to Robert and what he has accomplished. But, many of you who probably really just realize the historical moment, we just cannot say enough about Councilman Van. Councilman Van just has been, I say it so often, he has been just an intellectual giant among a sea of mental midgets. And this brother not only stand tall, but he'll move in the room and just demand our respect. And everything about his presence is dignified, and he really strikes at the heart of our manhood as individuals, and he raised the bar for all of us to reach a certain level of expectation and respectability. I remember my early days with Black United Front and moving into the police department and watching Assemblyman Van at the time, and now becoming a councilman, community empowerment. He laid the ground for all of this. He gave us really the fertile ground that we're planting these seeds, and now we're watching the fruit harvest and grow. But there's nothing good about historical if we're not memorable. If we can't do something that people are going to remember us by, if we're just going through the motion believing that we're elected to be served and not to serve, then we're useless, and nothing is going to happen during this period of time. We're in a good place. And people may talk about, that the difference between Harlem and Brooklyn, but the reality is no one cannot ignore the fact that there's something special happening in the borough of Brooklyn. There's something that's happening. At one time, we only reflected on the tree growing in Brooklyn. Now we got dignified intellectual leaders that are going to have their feet on the ground. Councilwoman, soon to be elected public advocate James, is real about what she does. We are real about what we do. You will never be a good shepherd if you don't smell like a sheep. If you are too pretty to do this job when people are hurting, then you shouldn't be in it. 24% of this borough is still living below the poverty line. And there won't be any premature popping of champagne. We got a race in November to win. We still got to bring Bill de Blasio over the victory line so we don't take ourselves back to the Rhoda and Giuliani years. If you feel that knot that that has been in your stomach and found permanent residency for the last 12 years with this sick Bloomberg in office, you know that we cannot have Loda come in and continue the legacy of denial. No. So we got to really put our feet to the fire. We got to make sure that we put de Blasio in so that we can turn around the direction that this city has been moving in, where the rich has gotten richer, the gap has been increased, so many of us have been denied, and that's what Robert really is representative of. You see him walking down Fulton Street holding the hands of his beautiful children, walking them to school. You see him knocking on doors. He is really taking on the great legacy of Al Van, not only tall in stature, but tall in ideas and tall in vision. We had enough visionless people. We need people that are not going to allow their eyes to get in the way of their heart. And Bed-Stuy must be saved so that it doesn't become so gentrified that you cannot identify it later on, that you built this. We built the borough of Brooklyn. We built the borough of Brooklyn. And we got to make sure that this borough stays in the hands of all the Brooklynites that built it. It cannot become so expensive that the people who harvest in the field cannot taste the goddamn fruit after we do. So I'm happy to integrate Borough Hall. I'm happy to know that behind me there's going to be others that are going to make it. I'm happy. But we got to create the environment that we're going to raise healthy children and families. Our children are not MetroCard leaders, they're passport leaders. And they got to be trained to be able to lead not only for today and tomorrow, but the future to come. So this is a great day for us. Let's dance, let's celebrate, but let's get on the grind and make sure that we bring this home in November and make history to make it great away from us.
So if you don't know, that's my borough president. And my good friend from the 57th Walter, I'm so sorry, but I gotta hand you the mic. I love you, brother, but I'm so sorry.
Rob, as a freshman elected official, you're gonna have to get used to this because there are some superstars that reside in our borough, and I know exactly where every one of them live. But you have to understand that, this was the easy part. As hard as this was, this is the easy part. Because you're going to have principals and principalities coming at you from every direction. Trying to sway you, bribe you, coerce you, and even trying to curse you out in your own office. But you got to understand, you got to stand tall, brother. You got to be bold and concise in your stature and in your principles. And, I want to say that the way you carried yourself is beyond remarkable. They threw everything at you.
That's right.
They threw the developers at you.
That's right.
They threw special interests at you.
That's right.
They threw everything they could at you, but you stood tall. And that's what the men and women and children of Bed-Stuy are going to need from you. Because we know that we're in the battle. We're in the battle of our lives. And as the president noted, there's some people that want to move us out, even though we were the ones who built this up. Even though this is the man who helped build this up, along with Annette Robinson. There's so many of them who came before them. So get used to this, because you're always going to be the last one to talk. So you're going to always have to think about, what am I going to say next? Because everyone said everything that I wanted to say. But that's going to be your challenge. Everything has been done before you, but you're going to have to come up with new and creative ways to get the job done.
That's right.
So that's the challenge to you, my brother. So keep that in mind. Always remember why you're doing what you're doing, to improve the lives of others. Keep that platform in your pocket and look at it every day, because that's what I do. Just to make sure that I keep my word. Because in Brooklyn, your word is your bond. So congratulations, brother. Celebrate, party, happy birthday to my people wife, happy anniversary. I love you. You did it again. Congratulations.
Oh, that's right. I stopped by the office of the first black district attorney for the borough of Brooklyn, Ken Thompson. We love you, Ken. He couldn't make it tonight, but he has our full support, and we need on November 5th to give him all of our full support. because we know that there's been some things that have changed. And some people have changed their mind and are coming against our brother Ken Thompson, and we want to make sure that we support him and make sure that he goes into office as the first black district attorney for the borough of Brooklyn, because we know that he's what we need. Oh, I know where we are. There's some other special people that I want to thank before I turn the music over to the DJ. Now, one of my favorite developments is in the building. Where's Tompkins' houses at? Tompkins is always in the building. So, people who don't know about the developments and how important they are, I got news for you. With over 600,000 residents, they can sway and move any election that they want to. So there's a message that's been sent that y'all better watch out, because the developments are coming, right, Ms. King? So I saw Mr. Ballard earlier today from Sumner Houses, and he sent his love. Ms. Cologne from Marcy, Ms. Bradham from Roosevelt. So we love our developments here in Bed-Stuy. Yeah, unfortunately, we had Lafayette Gardens, but Tish and Lori have that full-fledged now, and Walter. But also, my Community Board 3 family, where are you? My Brownstones family, where are you? Youth Education and Safety Task Force. My Block and Tenant Association presidents. My win, I don't know about everybody else's win, but my win was a community win. Because like they said, they threw everything but the kitchen, and the kitchen sink at me. And Bed-Stuy refused to be bought. So somebody said that Bed-Stuy is not for sale. I didn't say it, but I love it. Bed-Stuy is definitely not for sale. So we have some people in my borough president, in my public advocate and other offices that are committed to making sure that we keep the integrity of Bed-Stuy whole. So I look forward to partnering with them. I look forward to getting the work done. Some of you may know that I've already gotten some of that work done and have worked diligently with those elected officials, and they're here tonight not just to celebrate, because we actually work together.
That's right.
Now I'm going back to work on Monday to get busy. I'm going back to the City Council to lay out an agenda for Bedford-Stuyvesant and Crown Heights that's going to further this community and protect the quality of life for individuals here. So that's talking about making sure there's affordable housing and making sure that I talk to the housing chair and get in his or her ear, whatever that may be. And making sure that our seniors are taken care of. Right now, I write legislation for the Aging and Veterans Committee. So making sure that our seniors and our veterans that are returning home in record numbers from Iraq and Afghanistan have the services available so that they can contribute to this great society that we have and this great borough. So I had promised that I wasn't going to do too much talking. But before I close, there's a beautiful lady in this building who has done so much for not only me, but my campaign. And that's my campaign manager, Stephanie Zimmerman. Now, anybody who saw me in the street during this campaign would say something to me and ask me something and want to volunteer, and I'd say, yeah, and I'd be excited, but they'd always be like, yeah, let me talk to Stephanie. Before I make any real commitments, let me talk to Stephanie. Let me tell you something. Stephanie didn't come from one of those big firms that we spend a lot of money to get elected from. Stephanie from around the way. But Stephanie is one of those gems that we have here in Bedford-Stuyvesant and Crown Heights with intelligence and passion, with the knowledge of the district and the understanding of the people we serve. And she took that and molded that and helped me to become victorious. Also, we have the Dean of Stats in this building. And that's in the person of Dr. John Flateau. How many people know Dr. John Flateau? And when it came to putting a winning strategy together, who never wanted to be out front but always had the numbers, who knew how to qualify and quantify where I was and what I was doing, Manny Burgos. Where's Manny? So I would like to say that I was a terrific candidate, but I had a terrific team.